Good morning, Facebook friends. Here I am with our friend Bo, and it's been a journey this last week or so. Yes, when I told a friend yesterday that our cat had had a CAT scan, she almost bust a gut laughing. It sounds pretty funny, the cat having a CAT scan. But let me tell you, in the moment, it wasn't the least bit funny. So our cat has been acting a little weird. He's been falling over. Good morning. Who's there? Linda. Good morning, Linda. Thanks for joining. He'd been acting a little strange, not quite himself. He was falling over a little, having some balance issues, kind of lilting to one side when he walked. And we just knew something wasn't right. I suspected, good morning, Cindy. I suspected, oh, Cindy, thank you. I tried your shamanistic route on him, and he did love it. He loved it, loved it. You were right. Perhaps it helped him come through everything with flying colors. Although we're not out of the woods yet. So, yeah, bottom line, he was having these symptoms of falling over, losing his balance. So we took him in to be examined, and they said that he had some big wax plugs in his ears, like really deep, close to the eardrum. So we tried some medication, we tried some drops, nothing loosened it up. They said, we're going to have to send you to a surgeon to take a good look in his ears. They're going to have to do something like stick a video scope down so they can see what they're doing. See, he has this cauliflower ear. We adopted him from the Meow Foundation, and he already had this little gibbled ear. So they tell us that's from having had a broken blood vessel that wasn't treated, probably when he was on the street. And when that dries up, it collapses the whole ear on itself. And so what that's done is misshapen his ear canal. You really can't see into his ear. It's all shriveled up and distorted. And that makes it prone to infection. And sure enough, we took him in to a specialist who is actually an ear surgeon, and a lovely, compassionate woman, Dr. McDonald at the Western Vet Clinic here in Calgary. And she said, yeah, we're going to need to do a CAT scan so that we can take a really good look at what's going on in that ear. And as she described everything, I started to get pretty queasy and uneasy. Yeah. So the CAT scan itself is really not that bad. They had to put him under. I always get nervous about a cat being under. So here's the first Shin Dao lesson. So my dad's cat, when I was younger, was taken in. They anesthetized him, cleaned his teeth, and he died 2 weeks later. And my dad was adamant that it had everything to do with the anesthetic, and that he was never himself after that, and passed away. So I've had this idea implanted in my mind since I was much, much, much younger, that anesthetizing a pet is not a great idea, and they're very likely to suffer some long-term consequences. And it doesn't help that a couple of years ago we had to take Bo in for dental surgery, and I had to sign forms saying that I understood what the risks were, and that the risks were that all sorts of things could happen, and in fact he could die. Well, I tell you, I bawled my eyes through signing that form. And I had to sign another form this time, and the form said, if something goes wrong, do you want us to do CPR and resuscitate? Well, I managed to sign the form without crying, but I said, I just have to go to the car to get my wallet. And I went to the car and I cried. And then Shin Dao opportunity. Okay, first of all, what has happened in the past does not have to predict the future. There's the first lesson. Just because my dad's cat passed away a couple of weeks after having had his teeth cleaned, it doesn't mean that it was the anesthetic. Perhaps it was just the cat's time. What has happened in the past does not have to predict what happens in the future. Past experience does not have anything to do necessarily with what's happening in the go forward. So that was the first thing to remember. And the second thing to remember was, wait a minute, Am I in fear or am I in love right now in this moment as I'm crying because I'm afraid that something will happen to my cat? Yeah, I'm very clearly in fear in a really big way. And the minute I realized that and said, I'm going to step into being love, the tears absolutely dried up. I stopped crying. And I was like, oh, everything's okay in this moment. And you know what? Everything is going to be okay. I've been surrounding him with white light. I've been calling upon the green ray of healing. We've been doing Reiki. We've just out of respect for Cindy, I won't share what the shamanic practice is, but if you have a sick animal, contact Cindy Johnson. Maybe she'll share that with you. And I was completely composed and was able to go in and sign the papers and hand my boy over to them. And yeah, he came through it with flying colors, no problem with the anesthetic. The CT scan, though, has revealed that he has some serious inner ear infection, middle ear infection, and some infection in the ear canal as well. And they actually want to remove his ear canal. Yeah, she described that surgery in detail, and let me tell you, that was a little brutal and uncomfortable. So for now, he's on antibiotics, and we're giving him lots of loving and attention, and next Wednesday he goes in for the big surgery where they're actually going to remove all of the contents of his inner ear, including the bulla, the little bone in there, and they're going to sew it up and he'll have no more ear on this side. But they say that will remove the infection that's there that is at this point threatening his little brain, because the inner ear opens into the brain area, and he's actually already showing some swelling in the brain stem, which means that that infection is passing along, and they want to remove it so that there's no more to feed into his little brain, and it prevents any further infection. So we're about to undergo a really big process. And again, the Shin Dao practices of being in the place of love and trust, of being in compassion for him, of not giving in to the fear. All of these things are great opportunities for all of us. And it's been a great opportunity to use my intuition, and for Neil too. We both check in, and Dr. McDonald seems incredibly competent and very caring. She wouldn't be doing this surgery if it wasn't absolutely necessary. So we certainly welcome love and prayers from everyone out there, and we know and trust that everything is going to be just fine. And there it is, real life lessons, how to walk the path of the Shin Dao, stay in that place of love and recognize the fear and simply make a choice to not be with it. So I leave that thought with you that thought with you for today. And today's been a bit of a long post, but yeah, there was a lot of story there. Oops, another Shin Dao lesson. Maybe not so much story, just deal with the facts and create a beautiful day. Namaste. Love you.